and welcome to a special edition. Are we there, Kate? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Are we there? Hi. I have no idea what is going on right now. Hey, are you there? Your mic is muted. I can't hear you.
There you go. Can you hear me? Now you're muted.
I have no idea what is going on. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Lord, like we have gremlins controlling everything today. I'm like, what? The sound, the audio? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition, the MLK Day edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. We have not been here with you guys for a while. We apologize about the start of the show. What a way to start off MLK Day, of all things. We're here today because there were so many things that have gone on since the last time we were on the air. We wanted to bring you guys up to speed on all of the latest news stories. Of course, we have had some tragic deaths. And then today, we are celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Sitting in the co-host chair is our friend, the one and only Miss K Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And K Renee, I'm so glad to be back real quick to talk to the people, but I can't believe these gremlins are wearing me out with this show. What is going on? But okay, glad to see you. How you doing? What's happening?
Glad to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New You. This is now the last time I saw you was in 2022. So now we're in a brand new year, 2023. And my motto is I'm going to be the best me in 2023. So, what a way to come back to honor the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I was a baby when he was assassinated, and just to see it, can you believe this year it'll be the 60th anniversary in August of I Have a Dream speech in DC. So much has happened since he has left us, but what a legacy that he has left us with, right? So
I could not agree with you more. The life and legacy of Dr. King has been something that has been important to me, much like yourself, my entire childhood. I reflect on the words of Dr. King and the mighty powerful things that he said before he died. But I am going to have to play devil's advocate just a little bit. And that's what you and I do on this show. Do you really think we're living the dream that Dr. King was talking about? We live in a world now where poverty is still high, and it's still high in the African-American community. Right now, the crime rate in a lot of major cities are through the roof. Little Rock, Memphis, just places like that where I'm wondering, Chicago, do we really believe in the dream? Do we understand the dream, or are we still just dreamers? And again, I don't know. Maybe the audience can chime in and say something and let us know too. I don't know.
I think that at some parts we are, but we have a long way to go. There is not economic equity within the Black community. And that's, to me, what Dr. King preached about. He was an activist. A lot of people don't realize that, even though he activated himself in a non-violent way, but he was an activist and he was for our people. And so until there's economic equity, we are still dreaming. How about that? There's still transparency, period. We have not reached economic equity and equality. So until that happens, we still dreaming.
Okay, but then one would beg the question, and again, I'm still playing devil's advocate, and that's what I love about how you and I can have these debates and still love each other. But, one would say African Americans have been given the opportunity for the best educations. African Americans have been able to hold the highest office in the country, the president of the United States. What, a lot of people feel as if the African American race may not be holding up its end of the deal. And I don't mean to say that. By no means am I a Trump supporter. No mean am I trying to be whitey. I'm just basing this off of things that I have heard and conversations that I have witnessed myself about, race and a race of people.
We are still catching up, Art. Even though we're in 2023, we are still catching up. So we haven't caught up yet. So that's just yes, we've made some strides in all areas of the professional landscape. We still got a long way to go.
We do. We do. I want to see a world where, as Dr. King would say, all my brothers and sisters come together and we just love each other and rejoice. Oftentimes people say, people like us who deliver messages of encouragement and keep moving and that we wear rose-colored glasses. And I tell people, under no circumstances, we are fully aware of the world in which we live in. We just hope that mankind would be better. Period. I don't look at race. I look at mankind, period. How can you serve the world and how can you be a better person?
And I also look at quality and character. And that's what Dr. King spoke of. I look at a person's quality and I look at a person's integrity. I don't care what color you are. If you don't have integrity and if you don't have character, we can go like two ships passing in the night. Because that's to me something that needs to be consistent. I know I can't speak for you, Art, but I know I can say this. What we've been able to accomplish, you and I, was probably our parents' dream. And for that, I'm grateful for. And I'm hoping that we don't both have biological children, but when we leave here, our biological or non-biological children will be better off than where we come from in this moment. So I just feel that people need to just really take a step and look within. What can they do? Because one person can change the world. We know that, and that's why we celebrate again Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day.
Yes. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome. This is a very special MLK Day 23 broadcast of the Real Chat Daddy Show. And I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing, K Renee and I both had other things to do, but we just felt compelled to talk to our audience today of all days. This is our way of giving back today by communicating with our fans, our audience. We really appreciate you guys. I do owe you guys an apology. I've had a shift in my schedule and things that have changed a little bit. So for me to be able to do the live show one night a week has kind of become a issue. So if anything, K Renee and I will be probably doing a lot of pre-recorded shows, but we will at least try to get you guys a show a week where you can catch up. We'll go back and read your comments and things like that through the threads, but we're trying to work this out where we can come back and at least give you guys what we appreciate you for. I don't care if it's 20 people, 200 people, 1,000 people, whatever the case may be, we're getting the message out and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Welcome to MLK Day. It is January of 2023, a new year. Today is also the saddest Monday of the year. A lot of people don't realize, but this day, not that because it's Dr. King Day, but you know how we do the day of calendars and things on it. This is the day that most people have failed at whatever it is that they were going to do. So if you said you were going to go on a diet, just about this weekend or this day, you were like, you know what? I'm going to eat them 12 wings. I'm going to eat that pound cake and I'm going to enjoy it. The hell with all of y'all. No, I ain't eating no bread. Instead, he's sitting there eating a sandwich. Right, because that sandwich tastes good. Also, dry January. No, I ain't gonna have no liquor. I ain't gonna drink. I'll be good. And the next thing you know, whoops, I done had a glass of Chardonnay. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so today is that Monday. Have you had that moment yet? Well, first of all, any New Year's resolutions? And have you had that moment yet?
I remember someone, my big brother over there, It's talking about they're not resolutions called resolutions. I remember you saying that. So I don't do resolutions. I just strive each and every day to be, again, my motto for this year is I am going to be the best version of me in 2023, whatever that looks like, financially, spiritually, professionally, physically. I am going to be the best version of me. So, if I have a little glass of Chardonnay, it's fine. If I have some bread to go with my sandwich, it's fine. So if I spend a little money on the lottery, which we're going to talk about later, that's fine too. Because one thing I've noticed what's happening and what continues to happen, if you don't live your life, you're going to be destined to repeat certain things. So now is the time, y'all, to be the best versions of yourself this very moment. So that's just my motto. So, I don't, like I said, I take it from my big brother. I don't believe in resolutions. Resolutions, yeah, I believe in that, but not resolutions. Well, okay.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, no, like I was telling you, I spend Dr. King's weekend purging, getting rid of things, moving things around. I even believe in saging my place the beginning of the year. Absolutely. Yeah. So, for us to sit out.
And it's funny you mentioned that because the new year, what I had done on New Year's Eve, I did something what I used to do in my younger days, and I said I was going to do it again. I stayed downtown and kind of brought in the new year privately. But when I came home, the first thing I performed was saging the entire house on New Year's Day. I think and one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you probably want to start doing, start new traditions in the new year. Start your new year off right. We hear these old traditions, cook some greens and black-eyed peas. That's fine. And, if you want to respect the old, that's fine. But think of some new traditions that you can start with your family. And that will continue to be your legacy. So, yes, absolutely. I stayed in my house.
Absolutely. Well, I hadn't had a chance to sage my house because I had been so busy. Yes, and once I've been really, really busy. And, as you guys all know, my, loss, grief, and celebration ministry. I've been busy in that. Then I've also been busy with my, other situation I have going on right now. So no, this is my if I'm not traveling this weekend, this is the weekend of cleaning, purging, repairing, renewing, all of that. So that's pretty much what I'm caught up in. So look, if I was to stand up, y'all be like, Lord, he got paint all over his shorts and everything, because that's what you do this weekend. All right. So that's my give back, my servitude in honor of Dr. King. Well, K Renee, I know we have a lot to talk about. There's a list of things that we're going to start with. Let me see what we had here on our list of things. Oh, I want to talk about Damar Hamlin. As you guys all know, we witnessed that horrific cardiac arrest that took place during that football game. Give us the update of all of what's been going on with Mr. Hamlin and how the entire world has been praying for him.
Well, to show you how God works, because when they say God works in mysterious ways, they're not kidding. And Mr. Damar Hamlin, first of all, he is a safety for the Buffalo Bills. He is very well loved in his town of Buffalo. But on Monday Night Football, he tackled someone and got up and then immediately collapsed, went into cardiac arrest. This is now, mind you, this is not just a regular regional game, y'all. This is Monday Night Football. Everybody named Mama was watching, horrifically what was going on him. And again, kudos to the first responders and the entire staff of the Buffalo Bills, as well as the Cincinnati Bengals organization, for getting him to the hospital, resuscitating him, and getting him there, because that's the one thing that saved his life. And I think, honestly, Art, due to his age and the fact that he is an athlete, that probably also, along with the good Lord, helped him not only save his life, but he's not out of the hospital. And he was at the Buffalo Bills training facility before they had their playoff yesterday. And for won. So it's just, number 3 is just being that loving mascot, and the fact not only he's a great player, on the field, he's a tremendous philanthropist off the field, because he was trying to raise money for his toy drive, and his goal was 2,500. Well, since this happened, he has raised, I think the total was $7 million for his
$7 million. So listen,
$7 million.
I want to talk about the power of a miracle. First of
Yes.
all, we need to look at the number of young people who are having cardiac arrest. If we look at Real Housewife of Atlanta, Nene Leakes' son Bryson, in his early 20s, no drug and alcohol usage that we know of, or they even reported in medical reports. If we had to look at the fact that that young man had cardiac arrest, a heart attack, and a stroke. And a stroke. Even if we look at our good friend Lisa Marie Presley, who we're going to talk about her later on in the show, her dying at 54 from cardiac arrest. Now, we do know there was some rumor of drugs and anxiety. We'll talk about that. But I'm looking at the number of young people. DeMar, it was not... he's a young man, like you said, athlete, well-trained, no foul play has been reported, in his health records, any of that. It makes you wonder really what is going on with these young people.
I wish we had an answer, but I don't have the answer. But all I can say is God works. And when he works miracles. So,
yes.
I know his family, it was great to see photos of him in the hospital with the heart sign with his mom and dad, and the love that's just been extended to him and his family. It's been nothing short truly of miraculous. So, that's just a feel-good story that's going to take us literally from the beginning really until the end. We're going to be talking about this again when we do our year-end review in December. So
absolutely.
I'm hoping, even though my Bears did not do well this season, I'm hoping and they didn't, but they got Justin Fields. He's a cutie and he can play some ball. I'm hoping Buffalo will take it all the way. So I'm that blue and white fan. Buffalo, go all the way.
Very good. All right. Very good. Well, with that being said, I want to move on to another story that was trending while we were off on holiday, and we've got to acknowledge it. Thank goodness the weather here in Chicago has been just great. We are actually experiencing springtime weather here in Chicago. As you guys all know, most of the country has suffered a snowstorm and freeze during the Christmas weekend. We're here in Chicago. Our weather is really almost like springtime, just a cloudy, gloomy spring day, but actually very well. Well, as you guys all know, during the holiday snowstorm, actor Jeremy Renner was critically injured from a snowplow, his own snowplow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the snowplow weighed 6 tons, if I'm not mistaken. Let's talk about this story in actor Jeremy Renner. I can't talk.
Well, here's the thing, the fact that he was on his own snow machine and almost got run over, and then to see the aftermath, it's a blessing. To talk about how God works. God said, Jeremy, we're gonna keep you around, but you're gonna tell what I have done. He is also doing even though he's still not as the best that he was, but he's a lot better than he was when he was run down with the snowplow. So this happened in, I think it was Lake Tahoe, and it does snow a lot in Lake Tahoe. So he was trying to help someone, and then in the process of helping, for some reason he got caught in the plow and they just ran him over. And I'm like, oh my God. Because to show you how strong he is, he took photos of himself in the hospital showing the world what the snowplow did to him. I don't know if I could be that brave to do that, but I'm glad for that he is continuing to recover as well.
Me too. Me too. We send our best to him, all of that. Yeah, it's just unbelievable that, that would have happened to him. Well, we also want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the people of California. Believe it or not, I know I've been seeing videos from friends of mine in Los Angeles. They are really getting torrential storms in California, to the point where the ground is not able to even soak up all the moisture that has been hitting California. And K Renee, I hate to say it, and we're not a biblical show at all, but that's almost some rapture stuff that is going on with the, floods and the waters and all that. What do you think about that?
Well, I have family all throughout the state of California. I've been calling and checking on them, and they're okay because they're in the Los Angeles area. But you think about in the northern part, in Sacramento, in San Francisco, where they've had, major floods. People have died. I'm still thinking about that little boy they haven't found yet, who, was just washed away. The mudslides have been happening. It's just, as you said, it has been truly of biblical proportions. And all I got to say, y'all better stay prayerful because it ain't over yet. This is just the beginning of 2023.
Well, but then also, this is the former flight attendant and weather geek in me. What people don't realize is when weather like that is taking place somewhere else, that weather eventually has got to move itself. And most of our weather comes from the West. Most of it comes from the West. Now, even though we've had a wonderful January that everybody like, oh my goodness, I'm even thinking about planning a manifestation party here at my home and inviting people who want to manifest a good 23 over. But I'm always worried about the weather in January. I was told that we're probably going to get through January pretty well, but our February is going to be a doozy. Now, that's what I was told, that our February is going to be a doozy.
I believe that. I every time when I would talk with a stranger about, oh, we've got a great January, I say, yeah, but February is coming. And I know from historical experience, when we've had mild Januaries, February, especially on February 14th, with
Valentine's Day. Yes.
It may be a massacre, but of a different kind. Because, for those who don't believe, climate change is very real. What has happened when we were growing up is just nothing compared to what is happening now. So again, we're not a biblical show, but we always say, what are we going to stay prayerful?
Stay prayerful. Absolutely. Well, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome to a very special edition of the MLK Day 2023, the Real Chat Daddy Show. We're having a good time today, laughing and talking with you guys. But most importantly, we're trying to remember the life and times of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., what he meant to so many of us, and are we still living the dream that Dr. King talked about? Sitting in the co-host chair is my good friend, the one and only Miss K Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge.com. We just decided to come on. We've not seen you guys since last year. We want to wish you a happy new year. Hopefully all of you all are doing well, have been trudging through this new year with a lot of emphasis on joy, happiness, and good energy. What we try to talk to you guys about all the time. K Renee, what do you want to say to the audience before we continue on with our show?
I am just grateful to see my big brother looking gorgeous in his yellow, and just really happy that we've all made it to another year. And again, my motto, and I hope you can adopt this motto, is I'm going to be the best version of me in 2023. And that is my wish and hope for each and every one of you, to be the best versions of yourself this year.
Right. Very good. Yep. Very good. All right. Well, with that being said, let's continue on with our news that we have to talk about. Next is Kevin McCarthy finally wins as Speaker of the House. Now, when I say to you, what a show In itself, a hot mess of a show. And that's all I'm gonna really say. You know what I'm saying? I know it's election season. I know, we upset about the Republicans, all of that. It's too early for me to start drinking, and it's Dr. King's birthday. But I'm gonna let you handle that about McCarthy. Go right ahead.
Well, the minority leader before he won the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy of California, he just thought, honestly, once the new year hit and Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave up the gavel he thought, well, I'm just gonna get this. No, boo, that wasn't the case. You think it maybe once they go around the block, twice, maybe third time would be the charm. No, ladies and gents, it took him 15 times for him to finally get that gavel. I mean, can you picture this? They had photos and images of him putting his name up before the vote was even taken. And I thought that was karmic to me, that it took him literally the whole week, last week, for him to really maintain the Speaker of the House. Even 45 or 46 minus 1 had to, do some negotiating, because some of the Republicans did not really want him to be Speaker of the House. He conceded to a lot of things before he became Speaker of the House. So it's going to be interesting. I know we're going to be talking about some political topics during the course of this show, but I thought it was funny as hell.
I did too. I did too. And then here's the deal. Yeah, you finally got the position, but dang, people really don't like you, dude. They like it took that long for you to get it. And please forgive me, but the African American lady that's who is she again?
I think her name is Miss Clark. She was the clerk, and to me, she was a superstar of this whole incident. And kudos, obviously, to the minority leader of the House, State Representative Hakeem Jeffries, who was always eloquent in New York. So he's the first Black to get a title of being minority leader of an opposing party. So even though McCarthy, to me, is not a Speaker of the House, they're going to have some other folks. But I'm going to give props to State Representative Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Woo-hoo!
Yes, very good. All right, well, we'll talk a little bit more about politics later. Let's move on to the next thing. As you guys all know, Prince Harry, well, I guess former Prince Harry.
He's the Duke.
He's a Duke. Okay, yes. So he's the Duke of Sussex. He dropped a lot of the royal dirt in his book Spare. It has been all the talk of not only here in the United States, but over across the pond in England and beyond. I found it interesting that they released it in Spanish language first.
Yes.
Interesting. And then they released it in American English, I guess, as you would say. What do you think about all this? I mean, Harry is that new generation. Harry is that we are not standing for this anymore. Harry has married a woman that is not royalty, just all of that. What do you think about all of that?
Well, Harry is also a Virgo, like I am, and we about truth. He is speaking his truth, whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen. He is speaking his truth. And I really believe even writing the book, of course, he had a co-author. It's more cathartic for him because he has been doing the media circuit, talking to Anderson Cooper 60 Minutes, talking to Michael Strahan. And kudos to Michael for getting the get of Harry in America. He's done the circle. And there's some things a lot of people would not know about Harry. We all know. But I think at the end of the day, he's speaking his truth and he's making his money. Because one thing I'll give Harry, the Duke of Sussex and the Duchess of Sussex. Make your own money. Don't worry about what's over there on the other side of the pond. Be true to you. And if Princess Diana were alive, I think she would just give Harry a big hug. She probably would be sad know that the relationship between Harry and the future King of England is shaky, because it is. But again, when you speak your truth, can't be upset about that. So
Well,
I plan to get the book, by the way, because I want to read it. And then once I read it, you and I are going to have another conversation. But yeah, I'm proud of him.
Well, I want to read the book as well too. Being someone who has a strained relationship with my family, and it all is a result of the death of my mother. So you know what I'm saying? I do want to read it. I want to see what was said. People get very upset when you speak the truth to them. They hate that. They would rather you not tell them the truth, not tell them what you think or how honesty and all of that. And I have dealt for years with guilt, anguish, a lot of just things that have not been good. And to see somebody like Harry telling it all, somebody who listened, grandmother was on money. Grandmother was the number one woman in the world, and you are now sharing your pain, your hurt, and your truth. I'm in your corner, brother, because there's so many of us out here like that, that have testimonies and stories that they want to share, but they don't want to hurt people's feelings. They don't want to burn bridges. I've seen more people fall out over the death of someone than anything else in this world. It almost is as worse as cancer killing people. Oh, I know.
I'm a living witness. Trust and
right,
believe. So,
right.
and here's the thing. I give Harry credit for publishing the book after Queen Elizabeth passed, because he could have done it before she died. He didn't.
Right.
Because quiet as it's kept, Elizabeth liked Harry. That's just my personal opinion. Of the many grandchildren she had,
right.
My money is on Harry was the favorite. So
right.
Out of respect for her, he said, I'm gonna wait until she leaves. Because they were about to publish, and in fact, if you remember, there was a story that he was going to publish around Thanksgiving. He didn't do that, so he waited. And so again, it will be a very interesting book. As you may or may not know, he has a 4-book deal. So this is one of many. It shot up to, it's the number one bestseller, nonfiction bestseller. It sold over 1.5 million copies when it first hit. So he's not doing that bad. He all right.
Right. All right. K Renee, I need you to take us into our next story, and I'll be right back on screen. All right. Go ahead.
All righty. Well, the next story, which is really kind of sad, it happened in Virginia, Newport News, where this 6-year-old boy shot his teacher with his mother's gun. Like, can y'all imagine this? That a 6-year-old boy had the wherewithal to not only bring a gun to school, but to shoot his teacher. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this picture? And of course, they're not revealing the name of this young boy because of his age. But the teacher, she's recovering. I'm glad that she's still with us. But I just really, I don't know what's going on in this world where it comes to these little kids using these type of weapons and start shooting folks. I just don't know what to say on that. And when I heard this story, I thought it was a scam. I thought it was like, this can't be happening. And then to get confirmation that this little boy shot his teacher, and it's really hard to believe that this took place.
I couldn't believe it as well either. I said, wait a minute. When I heard the breaking news and they were like, a 6-year-old shot his teacher, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like that didn't even make good sense. And then I just, when they aired the story, I was wondering, how did that even happen, that this child would have his parents' gun like that?
It was his mother's gun. And my thing is, how come mama did not love in this regard? because
right.
if that child had access to the gun, that means the mother or a guardian or whomever is taking care of that little boy did not secure that type of weapon. So
Right.
Even though I don't have children, y'all can talk about me all you want, but when you have a child, if you're gonna have a concealed carry weapon in your house, you better secure it very quickly, because kids are very inquisitive, they're nosy, and they're curious. Try to find something, they will find it. So you have to just make sure that you lock your stuff. It still boggles my mind, Art. It really does.
Mine's as well too. Well, I want to move on. Our President Joe Biden is currently in a little bit of hot water. It is being reported that classified documents have been discovered in President Biden's private office, in his home in Delaware. You and I were just talking yesterday briefly about the fact that we like Uncle Joe. We think Uncle Joe is a nice man. We don't know how much more time Uncle Joe may have. You know what I'm saying? We long live the president, long live the queen, all of that. But I'm not surprised that Uncle Joe would have documents in his home, especially if he is in the position he's been all these years, power of authority. Why would we be concerned about that?
Well, here's the thing too. Some of the documents were maintained when he was vice president during the Obama administration. So that's been a while. Am I concerned? Yes. I'm glad he manned up and immediately took action, unlike his predecessor, who took documents and did not want to give them up, which is the reason why he was subpoenaed and the FBI had said, we want these documents. And this is turned into a serious political conundrum, because unfortunately this is going to be the masked eye, the scarlet letter on President Biden's legacy.
But I'm still thinking this man is privy to certain things as the vice president. You know how you are in a position and somebody says, hey, Art, take our next year's marketing report home. Can you read through it? Can you whatever? That marketing report might get left at the house, or a page or two, I mean, when you are that type of authority, now I'm more worried about what Donald Trump took from the White House versus something that may have been found at the vice president's at the time's house then. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody can help explain this a little bit better. You've done a great job so far.
Well, as I said, what he did was not right. And the Republicans, they ready. They want 10 separate investigations. And Merrick Garland, who was working with the justice system, he's just like, God dog it, I'm trying to just do my job here. Now this happened.
Right.
And they want to clump it with Trump. I'm like, it's not, you comparing apples to oranges, where it'd been different if President Biden said, you know what, I'm not giving y'all anything. Forget you. He didn't do that. He manned up. Trump never manned up, had an attitude, said, I'm not giving up nothing. And he is in cahoots with some of America's dictators, i.e. Putin, along with some other folks across the pond. And so it's a big, and see, when that happened, Republicans did.
They got quiet. They got very quiet. They did. The Republican Party got very quiet.
If you're going to be transparent, Republicans, talk about that. Okay? Be on the news junkets talking about that. Otherwise, shut the hell up.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, I do want to acknowledge, and then we're going to talk about the Golden Globes and the other award shows and all that. But I do want to acknowledge some of the deaths that have happened since we've been gone. 2023 has seen a series of passings. And if I'm not mistaken, we even had some the tail end of December leading into January. Did we ever talk about those?
We did not, because we've been gone. I mean, a former pope has left us.
Yes,
Pope Benedict. We had one of the Pointer sisters, Anita Pointer.
Anita Pointer. Yep.
Anita Pointer. This is at the tail end of 2022. I mean, you think about, I'm looking at December. He was a cutie pie back in the day. Even though, again, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but I remember the Immaculate Reception, Mr. Franco Harris. This is in December. Kirstie Alley as well. So these are individuals that unfortunately left us. And then in the beginning part of this year, we haven't even finished January yet. I mean,
we're what, 16 days into January. We've had how many deaths? Let's start at the top of the list.
Fred White. Now, for those who don't know who Fred White is, you do know who Earth, Wind, and Fire is. He was the brother of Verdine and Maurice White.
Correct.
Just a prodigy drummer who transitioned at
from Chicago. From Chicago.
Chi-town, our favorite city. Well, hometown.
That's right.
Unfortunately transitioned on New Year's Day. Then you had the Whispers. He's a member of the Whispers, Gordy Harmon, who made his transition on January 5th. Then I was
wait. Let me do it. Do they turn you on all night? Do they turn you on? Okay, I'm sorry. That's my little tribute to the Whispers. Okay,
that's all right.
Continue on. Yeah, I digress. That was my little tribute to the Whispers.
And then we had, Nicholas Bradford, who played Adam Rich, Ada the youngest. I thought he was just adorable. He transitioned at age 54.
Right.
Now this one, I'm still waiting to see if Trump going to 10. I don't know. When they announced this transition, I was like, Diamond and Silk. Y'all know who Diamond and Silk was? These were the two Black women who just took the political world by storm by loving our former president Trump. Well, Diamond, I guess that the Diamond part, Miss Parkway, she passed away at the age of 51 on January 9th. And then the shocker.
And when I posted it on my social media, people were like, oh, yeah, I'm having tacos for dinner. What are you having? People was like, oh, isn't it Meatless Monday? What are you? Right. I was like, oh, my God, you all are not giving that lady any love whatsoever. Right. I was like, that's a doggone shame. Maybe 3 or 4 people said, pray for her soul. That's all they said.
Okay.
I said, right. Yeah. Diamond and Silk. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Then, the shocker, we're going to talk about the Golden Globes, but we saw this legend, because she was a legend. She was the daughter of the king of rock and roll.
Yes.
Lisa Marie Presley, who we saw, and I have to say this, Art, when I saw when they panned her after Mr. Butler won the Best Actor for Elvis, I said something's not right. She did not look well. But Lisa Marie Presley made her transition at the age of 54, and she went into cardiac arrest. So she was one of the individuals that Art spoke of earlier. To me, 54 is still young. To go through cardiac arrest at that young age, my thoughts are definitely for her mom. And I love the photo that you posted of you and Priscilla, as well as her children, because I also too believe when her son committed suicide, unfortunately last year, she'd never recovered. And you can tell that. When I watched her in interviews, I said she is grieving. Really,
absolutely.
Really.
Real quick, I want to tell the story about how I met Priscilla Presley. I was on a media trip years ago sponsored by Amtrak, and the trip was a trip to Memphis via Amtrak. So we rode Amtrak all night long, got to Memphis that morning, stayed at the legendary Peabody Hotel. Well, while we were there, Stax Records had a tribute to the one and only Mr. Al Green. And
Oh.
we all went to this event. It was really wonderful. It was very up close and personal. It was not like a major event. It was maybe no more than 200 people, but it was the prominent people of Memphis when I was there. And Priscilla happened to be a guest. And one of our hosts said to me, "That is Priscilla Presley." And I said, "Really?" So we started laughing, talking, all of that. She asked us, what were we doing after the event was over? We said, going back to the Peabody Hotel. Well, who do you think met us to hang out with us at the
Oh,
Peabody? The one
Miss
and only
Priscilla
Yes,
Presley.
and she
Wow.
was a sweetheart. She was
Oh,
so nice. So that's why I always tell people, my friend Priscilla Presley, because again, never in a million years do I, would I've ever thought I would hang out and have an evening with Priscilla Presley. But it was really wonderful, and she was a
that is
wonderful lady, really. Yes. And all right, let's continue with these deaths because
that's
we got to
such a
get out of here in
sweetheart.
just a second. Yes.
Well, and for those who remember Evel Knievel, who was the daredevil motorcyclist, well, his son, who took in his father's footsteps, Robbie Knievel, made his transition on the 13th, this past Friday, at the age of 60 due to pancreatic
Right.
cancer. His
Mm-hmm.
father passed on in 2007. So, Robbie followed his footsteps and did remarkable things just like his dad. And then today, this morning, who I thought was just, to me, one of the best sex symbols back in the 50s and 60s. Her and Sophia Loren were like the two Italian stallions, literally. Famed actress, philanthropist, Gina Lollobrigida. I love the name. She transitioned this morning at the age of
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know Gina Lola Brigida had died. Are you kidding me? Oh, I didn't. Oh, my goodness. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Oh,
and
okay.
for those, before we move on, and for those who've lost loved ones this year, our thoughts, our prayers are with you and your respective families. But know that your loved ones now are closer to you than ever before.
Absolutely. Wow. She was 95 years old, Gina Lola Brigida.
95. Gina Lola.
Wow. God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, God bless her soul. Well, did we cover everybody who has passed so far?
Yes, we have.
Okay, well, real quick, I want to take a moment before we talk about the award shows is to remind everyone this is my cousin Bernard Sims. He has written a book, The Southern Awakening. It is his story about living in the rural South as a Black man, as a business owner, teacher, father, all of that great stuff. The book is on Amazon. If you guys get a chance, please check out his book. I read it earlier today in honor of Dr. King Day and the fact that my cousin has become quite the famous author and historian. Him and Tammy Gibson talk quite frequently, and Tammy was an inspiration of his as well too. So make sure you guys get a copy of this book. It's on Amazon. Bernard Sims is his name. That's my cousin, and very good. All right, yay! All right,
Yay!
wonderful. I
Yay,
know.
yay,
All right,
yay.
so let's talk about all the awards before we have to get out of here.
Oh, yes. I mean, the Golden Globes and then the last night Critics' Choice Awards. But if the Critics' Choice and Golden Globes are any indication, we may have some melanin when it comes to Oscar time in March. But,
Yes.
kudos go to, first of all, Miss Angela Bassett, Best Supporting Actress of Wakanda Forever. She played the Queen
Wakanda.
Mom and just knocked it out of the park. So
Yes.
congratulations to her. And then also Quinta Brunson, Abbott
Yes.
Elementary.
The
Not
Quinta
only
Brunson.
did the series won, she won for Best Actress. Tyler James Williams won for Best Supporting Actor. And in Abbott Elementary. And interesting enough about Tyler, which I saw this morning, he suffers from Crohn's disease. And I'm hoping we'll get a chance to talk to someone on the show about that because it affects more African Americans than Art.
Yes.
Because I have
Yes.
a
I
family
know.
member that suffers from Crohn's. So yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Um,
Okay.
and then Zendaya won a Golden Globe for her portrayal. I think it was an HBO series. So, not only with the Golden Globes, but the Critics' Choice Awards, those individuals I spoke of that won a Golden Globe, guess what? They won a Critics' Choice Award.
They did. Yes.
So
yes, they did. Yes.
Really interesting.
Yes. Real quickly, I want to acknowledge Miss Niecy Nash Betts. She won the Critics' Choice Award for her role in Dahmer, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Wow, congratulations to her. Again, congratulations to Cheryl Lee Ralph, who wins Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series for her role in Abbott Elementary. And Angela Bassett, again, for Wakanda Forever. So, and that dress Angela had on last night was just incredible. And the dress that Cheryl Lee Ralph had on, everybody was giving you sparkles. I just love it. I
loved her acceptance speech. So for those who want to know what she said, y'all click on YouTube, because it's too long for me to say it, but it's some truth. So just Google Cheryl Lee Ralph's acceptance speech on the Critics' Choice Awards. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, very good. All right. Well, before we get out of here, real quick, I want to talk about the fact that somebody in Lebanon, Maine is a $1.35 billionaire. Billionaire with a B. Let's talk about that real quick before we have to run out.
Oh, goodness. Did I play my numbers? Yes, I did win like $21, which was fine. I said, at least I can say I won something from the billion. But, I was trying to figure who the hell I know in Lebanon, Maine. I can call, I don't know nobody in Maine. I know pretty much a lot of people in different states, but don't know nobody in Maine. But congratulations to the winner. The gas station that sold the ticket, he gets $50,000. Kudos to him. But because, like most states now, when you win a large sum of money, you don't have to show your face. And I would suggest to the winner, please don't, because you don't want no craziness. You don't want Boo Bear and Johnny May and none of that. So congratulations. And let's not, even though there was a $1.3 billion jackpot Mega Millions, guess what tonight Powerball is? $414 million. So there you go.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, you know what? I want to also give a shout out to my girl, Jennifer Coolidge. We're going to talk about Jennifer Coolidge one day. I just love and adore Jennifer Coolidge. I really do. But a major shout out to her for White Lotus. But Jennifer Coolidge is she a mess. But I love her because she really do represent a lot of people that are a mess. And when she gave her Golden Globe speech and was talking about the past life and how she had to move into this life and just all of that, I just think it's incredible. So shout out to Jennifer Coolidge, and that's right. Yes. Yes.
Also
she said, y'all. Yes. Debbie, we actually started this an hour ago, and we just stopped in to do some things. Really, I got a million things going on at my house today. So we just decided to do this show because we hadn't talked to you guys in a while. So that's the only reason why this show came about today. We love you though. Talking about she just while we running away, baby. We've been here. You're gonna have to watch the rebroadcast. Right. You have to watch the rebroadcast. I got to go. I got 1,000 things I'm trying to finish in my crib. All right. Yes. Dr. King Day of service to your own damn self. So that's how that works. Yes. A day of service to your own damn self. Yes.
And speaking of that, so before we go, we got to do a nugget. And this nugget goes to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I love this nugget. He had a lot of nuggets, but this one is really apropos. And he just said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. That's Motivational Monday. # keep moving forward by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And with that being said, for more information about our friend here, please visit KarensNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. KarensNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. That's where you can find all of her lovely nuggets of wisdom, advice, gratitude, just all of that is what she does, and we appreciate her for it. All right, darling, is there anything else you have to say before we run out of here?
Thank you. And again, y'all, this is 2023. Be the best versions of yourself this year.
Absolutely. I cannot agree more. For more information about yours truly, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. We thank you guys for taking time with us today. Again, this was our very special MLK edition of the show. We didn't have this planned at all, but we felt we needed to talk to you guys, get you caught up on all the gossip and entertainment that has been going on. It's not too late to do something for someone today in honor of Dr. King. So make it all happen. We love you guys so very much, and we'll talk to you on down the road. Please make sure you go to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places, and subscribe to The Real Chat Daddy Show. Very easy, very simple, and that's how we do it. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We really do appreciate you, and we'll get you some more shows coming up in the near future. We promise you that. This was just an impromptu show today. Wasn't it, K Renee?
It was, and as it's good to be back. It's good to see my big brother, and
can't wait to see
this in this year. We just got to, as we say, stay prayerful. Don't do nothing we wouldn't do, and if you gotta wear the mask, wear the mask.
Oh, I was gonna say, you said don't do nothing we wouldn't do. Well, I was like, just wrap it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Just wrap it up. That's all. Make sure you wrap it up now. Put a little something on it. Put a little wrap on it, but that's okay. Do you, boo? Do you? All right, we love you guys. For more information, realchatdaddy.com. See you later. Bye. Bye.